So laying the draw is a very popular Betfair football trading strategy. However, there are a number of unanswered questions in terms of what matches should you choose and various other factors in and around the lay the draw strategy. However, we're going to address one of those key points in this video. If you're interested in learning to trade on Betfair, then visit the BetAngel Academy, where you have detailed structured Betfair trading courses. Or why not visit our website where you can download a free trial of BetAngel Professional, but also visit the forum where you can get detailed images, examples and downloadable files. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon if you want notification of new videos as they're released. So when you look at Betfair football trading strategies, lay the draw is right up there. Everybody has done it at some point, everybody has an opinion on it, and it's a strategy that most people get involved with. And it's one of the sort of simplest strategies that you can deploy into a football market if you're actively trading on Betfair. So it's quite curious, or it may be curious for you, it's curious for me that it's been around for so long, because when I was archiving some data recently, I'm pretty sure that I saw the origin of this strategy, the first iteration of it, was back in 2003. And it's funny how it's been carried forward over all of these years. It was called something very different then, and as a consequence, you know, you sort of it's been adopted, morphed, but I think there's always a lack of a decent detail in a lot of these strategies. People pick up and run with them, and because they win frequently, people sort of use them. But attaining long-term profitability is a different kettle of fish altogether. You need to be looking at things from a completely different aspect, and that's always my goal, because when you're deploying a strategy in the market, it's nice to win, sure, yeah, but I can pretty much custom define the win rate for you. It could be 1%, it could be 99%. I could make you win very, very frequently, and you'd feel very good about it. Just sign up to this ebook, it's only £37. No. But it's possible to create strategies that make you win frequently. But the problem that you've always got is when a loss comes along, it wipes out a big chunk of your profits. So the essence of profitable trading over the long term, I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times, is that you have to get that balance between profits and losses. That's a key element of any particular strategy. And when you look at strategies like lay the draw, they've been around for so long, but there's very little detailed discussion in terms of exactly what you should be doing and how. But I think that's quite common, because I wrote, I think, probably the first ever article on the 2.5 goal market, and that was way back at the very start of my career. But when I look at work that's been published subsequently on a lot of these strategies, there's a lot of the detail missing. People just sort of put the strategy out there and then sort of just say, oh, of course it's important that you find a market that this works with. But which is true to an extent, but I think it's a bit of a cop-out, because there is a lot more detail that goes in behind these strategies. I've given you quite a lot of additional advice on football and football markets and analysing football markets, which will help you with each one of those strategies. But when you look at how a lot of these strategies, like the 2.5 goal market strategy and lay the draw, are pushed out, there's often very little detail. And when we're looking specifically at the lay the draw strategy, the thing that you need to do is to identify when is that correct moment in time. When is the risk relatively low compared to potential payoff? And obviously you do need to select a market as well. But I think that that's almost an entirely separate video. If you want me to do a video on which matches you think you should be picking for the lay the draw strategy, or a proper discussion on it, now give me a like and comment on the video, and I'll happily produce the video, because I see the two things are separate. Market selection and activity in the market are two different things. It's the same with pretty much every sport. So yeah, let me know if you'd like me to do a video specifically on that. But when you're looking at a market, very often people sort of do a market selection strategy by saying, oh, if we look at this market, then that gives us a clue for that market. Well, I want to correct a misconception for you here, because all football markets are interrelated. Again, I could probably do a video on this for you. I think I probably should do, because people who, if you price one football market, you can price another subset of that particular market. So using the queue of one to trade another is a bit of a null proposition, because they're all interrelated anyhow. However, when we look at BetAngel, you knew I was going to talk about this. We have a wonderful tool here called Soccer Mystic, which allows you to look in great detail at a match, allows you to model it before you get involved. It gives you a clue as to how things are likely to go. Now, you expected that, but you're not going to expect what we're going to talk about now. However, there is a better way of displaying some of the critical information. So say you're watching a football match or you're watching football matches, and you are deciding whether to lay the draw. Do you get in at the beginning of the match, or do you wait until half time, or do you wait till 60 minutes to do something, or do you wait for the first goal? All of those scenarios. What you need to know at that critical moment in time is what is your likely payoff. If the goal goes in your favour, what's your potential profit? And if the goal goes against you, what is your potential loss? Well, there's a really clever way that you can do that on BetAngel, where it will display whatever match you're looking at, exactly what that potential payoff is. And that allows you to carefully manage your risk when you're doing a lay the draw strategy. So without further ado, let's look at how you do that on BetAngel. So we're looking at this football match. It is West Ham v Chelsea, and we're picking it up at half time. And we're going into half time with the score level at 1-1 after an appalling VAR decision, and then West Ham getting the goal that they probably deserved anyhow. But the question I have for you is, what will happen to the draw price from here? Now, we know that if the draw stays the same as it is at the moment, then obviously the price is going to keep on coming in, and therefore the draw will get shorter. But what will happen to the price of the draw if either of these two teams score? If I bring up the chart of the draw here, I just need to drag it across from another screen, you can see this is what's happened so far. So you can see it started just above 4, and the price started to come in because there's no score within the match. Chelsea score, West Ham equalise, and then it's trading at a lower level. But what will happen if either Chelsea or West Ham score next? Well, the great thing about BetAngel is we can actually display this information immediately on your trading interface. It can be on the ladder or the one-click screen. So let me show you that live as this match progresses. I'll close the chart that we have here at this moment in time. And in order to do this, what we need to do is to go to Guardian. So if I click on Guardian, it will bring up the Guardian interface. You can see I've got some matches preloaded in here already. And you can see that I've got the match odds and the Chelsea +1 goal and the West Ham +1 goal markets within here as well. And you can see that I've brought them in through Guardian over here. And I've done that using a filter. I'm not going to explain in this video how that filter is created, but if I just edit the filter and bring it up, basically what you can do with a filter is you can get BetAngel to search for exactly the matches and the markets that you want. So you can actually give it loads of criteria, and then rather than having to search for individual matches and markets, you put them into the filter, and then it's just a couple of clicks, and then you can pick from any one of the filters that you have created. And we give you loads of example filters within BetAngel and loads more on the forum. So I've used and modified one of those filters to bring in all those key markets. These are the matches that are taking place over the next few days that will be of interest to me. And you can see that I've just dragged and dropped these markets into Guardian. So if I click on one of these, it will transport me back to the main trading interface. I can click on the ladder from here, and if I click on the G, it takes me back to Guardian. Now you do have other options as well, which you may not be aware of. If I right click here, I can actually spawn a new ladder or a new one-click screen. I'm just looking to see where that's popped up. It's popped up over here. So you can see I actually have, as well as the other ladder interface that we have, I have another one floating on top. So you can do a few other clever things, explore those. But that's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to show you how to display additional information revolving around the draw odds if there's a goal for either team. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do here is we need to bring in some automation. The automation that you're going to use is going to be available to you via the forum. You can download it from there. I will include a link on the description of this particular video. And if I click on automation, what you need to do is you need to import a rules file. And when you click on import a rules file, you will have downloaded it from the forum, and then you bring it in to the software. And you can see the two that we're interested in here are the draw odds predictor for the away team, draw odds predictor for the home team. I have brought those pieces of automation in via the import rules file, and we can now apply those to the market. And we would apply it where we see the automation rules on here. If I just expand this column slightly, then it'll make it easier for you to understand what we're doing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the drop down box here, and for Chelsea, which is the away team, we're going to put draw odds predictor away. And for West Ham, being the home team, we are going to put draw odds predictor home team. And you think, well, what does that do? Well, if we go back to our main trading screen here, we'll look at the ladder, because this has been designed specifically for the ladder. You can see that there is actually no change on the screen as it stands at the moment. However, if you go to the ladder settings, you can actually import the next part of what we're doing here. So if we go into here, go into settings, and then click on import ladder settings, you can import the ladder settings into the software from here, because this little thing that we're doing here in BetEngine contains 3 bits, 2 bits of automation, 1 lot of ladder settings, because you can basically transform anything on the ladder. You can see all of the options we've got here, columns, charts, and various other bits and bobs along here as well. But basically, if I pull that in to the software, then it gives us additional features and settings within the ladder. So that's what we're going to select while we're on the ladder interface here. We are going to close this little box down here, and I've already imported this particular file, display predicted draw odds, and if I click on that, then you can see that what it comes up with is it truncates the ladder down to one particular ladder rather than 3. And you can see at the top it says here, if the home team score, then the draw odds will drop from, let's bring up the draw odds here. The draw odds will drop a little bit, and if the away team, if Chelsea score, then the draw odds will go flying out. So you could take a position based upon this particular piece of information if you wish. And the reason that we've put I've created these particular settings into one ladder is so that you can actually detach the ladder. Or if we go back and you're trading multiple markets, if I right click here and do display market in a new window, we can actually select the display predicted draw odds from within there, and then you can see that we can actually do something like that, pin that, and then that can float around the top while we go off and perhaps look at another market. So say I want to have a look at the Sheffield United v Spurs match. Here we go. And then I can actually have a look at that particular market and do all of the things that we want, even with the sort of default ladder mode in place with multiple images and stuff like that. And then that will actually still display all of the information that we have available on the mini ladder effectively. Now, what has just happened in the match is that West Ham have scored. Congratulations, West Ham. Big boost to your survival hopes. And what will happen is it'll take a little while for the market to settle down again. So basically, when the market is suspended, all of the bets get cancelled, and then the market returns to a particular state. So you can see here that the price on West Ham has dropped down. If we go to the draw, we can see that the draw odds are sat at about 310, 305-ish. So you can see that they've not really moved a great deal, which was exactly what was being indicated when we had a look at this just a few seconds ago. It's just a complete coincidence that that goal has come at exactly the right amount of time. So when a goal goes in, you're probably familiar with this, all of the bets in the market get cancelled, the market gets suspended, the market comes back, and then all of the odds start repopulating again. So there'll be a short delay while all of that happens, but you can see that it's come back in and settled at more or less the price that we anticipated that it would do. You can see now, if West Ham go on and score again, then the price on the draw will go out to odds of 4. But if Chelsea come back and equalise, then the price will collapse down to around 218 or thereabouts. But you've demonstrated a number of different things in here. We've demonstrated how to import items
through the automation using the import rules file. We have applied that to a match. We have also shown you briefly the filter. We've also shown you that if you right click, you can actually spawn a new ladder and display that while you're actually going to look at other markets if you so wish to do so. Everything will tick away in the background. And you can further modify this as well, so you can customize it, display more or less information. You can also remove, for example, we're not particularly interested in the countdown, we're not particularly interested in additional information. So you can do all sorts of clever things like this. And if you're happy with the way that your screen is laid out, there's no reason why you can't go and save the screen layout by clicking on the top and calling that, you know, my lay the draw screen trading layout or something like that. But you can see here that what we've actually done is created a number of options. We've enabled ourselves using the specific ladder settings and those clever bits of automation to put the predicted draw odds above the ladder. And then we've detached that and put that somewhere else. So if you want to trade multiple matches, have watch lists open, and all of those other clever things that you've got within BetAngel, it's perfectly possible to do so. So you can work in one market, look on another, maybe get alerted on the watch list of something that's happening somewhere else. And it vastly improves your trading. Not only that, it will tell you exactly, I say exactly, very close to where the odds are likely to be when that next goal goes in, whether it goes to the home or away team. You'll have a really good idea of exactly what your trading risk is. And obviously that's critically important when you're actively trading a market.